Munster, analyst with Piper Jaffray, has an overweight rating on Google. He joins us now with his reaction to the search giant's third quarter earnings. Gene, good to have you with us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, high expectations for this earnings report. They beat. Did they meet your expectations?
They did. We just raised our numbers to above the street, and they beat our numbers and beat the whisper numbers that people talk about. And I think the comments that Eric Schmidt had as far as he's optimistic about the future, you know, they are a bellwether. And for him to say that, that's essentially them giving positive guidance, given Google doesn't give guidance. There's a lot to be said, the fact that he is optimistic about the future, and I think that that's going to be positive for the stock.
What specifically do you think he is seeing, and what in the earnings report is giving him that optimism?
Well, I think at the end of the day, as advertisers are coming back and spending, if you look at the revenue that Google gets for every click, it was up 5% sequentially this quarter, and that's a sign that advertisers are willing to pay more for each of those clicks.
We haven't been seeing that.
We have not been seeing that, and so the reality is this is the reason why he's optimistic is advertisers are getting back in the market, and that's obviously a positive sign.
All right, we've been talking about the shares are up in after hours, and I'm not quite sure what the trade is right now, but that makes sense. Investors should be happy on this report.
I think so. I think that at the end of the day is that they beat the expectations. He's having positive comments about the future. I think once this kind of settles in, I think people's view will be this is a positive quarter.
Also interesting to hear that he's hiring. I mean, nobody's been hiring in this environment. Everybody's kind of been holding back, really kind of waiting for definitive signs of the recovery kind of taking hold here. So that's a big deal as well.
It is a big deal. And again, the beautiful thing about the Google model is they see into all different businesses, whether it's an automotive or whether it's into the finance world or travel. They see the spending trends within that. So if they're hiring, that's positive across the board.
That's a great point. Financial Times in their Lex column, they talked about that watch what Google says, because exactly that. They can see what people are searching on in terms of, you know, what they're buying or planning to buy kind of thing. So it's a key indicator.
Exactly. Of all the technology companies out there, I think they're probably the best barometer.
All right. What about YouTube? I know they don't break out their revenues for YouTube, but what are your expectations for that? They're expecting to make a profit here.
Exactly. It's still probably too small. It'll be something that'll be additive in the next couple of years. Obviously, they get a lot of usage, but not a lot of monetization from YouTube yet. And that's something that could be additive, but it's going to take some time.
You know, we're monitoring for any kind of comments that Schmidt has to say about YouTube. I mean, if you had to ask him a question at this point, what would you be asking Schmidt when it comes to YouTube?
Well, specifically is how are you going to increase the monetization? I think they have different advertising units that they can use with that. And what's the best way to make money? Could it be a subscription model where they can charge you for premium content like new television, new movies that don't have ads? Or is it running ads before you watch a short clip of a kitten playing with some yarn?
Yep, we've watched it. I mean, do you think they can truly monetize YouTube?
I think they can. I mean, if you look at the size of the audience, they're basically putting on a Super Bowl every week in terms of the total. And obviously, there's ways you can monetize the Super Bowl. So
it's pretty tremendous.
It's a massive audience that they have, and they got to get creative in terms of creating new ads for it.
All right.